With Jeff gone off to war, Pa had hired a man. They couldn't pay him cash, but they let him stay in the guest room. His name was Nathan Hall, and he was a former slave. Pa said, "I got a little grief from some folks in town for letting a colored man sleep under my roof. But my pa taught me, just like I taught you boys, the color of a man's skin don't matter none. Nathan was an honest man, and he worked hard. That's all I cared about." Pa, Robbie, and Nathan had shot at the raiders through the house windows, and they got 4 of them, but it wasn't enough. 2 torches were thrown through windows, which set the house ablaze. "A bullet caught Nathan in the head," Pa said, "and he is dead before he hit the floor. I told your ma to lie flat on the floor, and when the house was ablaze, I went to get her, but she was already dead. A bullet had somehow found her." Robbie shook his head. "I ain't seen nothing like it, Jeff. Bullets were tearing through the walls, the house all up in flames." Jeff nodded. He said nothing. But Pa looked at Jeff, realizing what the silence meant. "You've seen that sort of thing?" Jeff nodded again. "More'n once. We never did any raiding, but I saw enough of what you saw here regardless. And yet, as bad as everything I saw was, it wasn't as bad as getting that letter from you telling me about Ma, and standing out behind what's left of the house looking down at her grave." Jeff took his horse to the barn and stripped off the tack and gave him a rub down and some oats. The horse was a good one, and the 2 of them had logged a lot of miles together. There was a white crease on one shoulder where a bullet had grazed the horse during the Battle of Sabine Pass. Not the first battle, but the second. The horse flinched and reared a bit when he was hit, but despite blood running down his shoulder, he got Jeff through the battle. That horse had sand. The daylight faded away to night, and Pa turned in. It was a warm summer night, too hot and stuffy in the cabin for Jeff and Robbie, so they brought their blankets and pillows outside and stretched out on the soft ground by the cabin. Jeff was tired to the bone, so tired it almost hurt, but he didn't feel sleepy. He had found coffee sometimes helped him sleep, but he didn't want to start up a fire to brew some, but with the night being so hot, so he grabbed the jug, "Sorry, Ma," and started walking back toward the remains of the house. The moon was in the sky, and the night breeze was cooling a bit, and Jeff stood in what used to be their front yard, looking at where the porch once was. He thought about Pa's fiddle playing and Ma's singing voice. She had the sweetest sounding soprano and could bring a song to life like none Jeff had ever heard. He took a swig of moonshine and let it go down slow and warm. Then he stood in the moonlight and thought of summer evenings long gone.